Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us vs. Herd. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'm going to be talking about Tastyworks. It's been a while since I've done a video on Tastyworks or a review of Tastyworks since they came out in January 2017. I have been using it pretty much every day since January 2017, and it's nice to see that they, since our last reviews, they've actually cleaned up a lot of the issues that they had on launch. If you're interested, hit that subscribe button. We post a new video at 3:30 every day. If you want to be a part of our free options trading group, there's also a link below there. It's amazing to see how fast we're growing here at Us vs. Herd. Definitely appreciate everyone who's a part of the community. Definitely couldn't do this without you. I'm going to go over the Tastyworks desktop platform, web platform, and mobile. So we got a lot to cram in here. Luckily, everything across is now pretty much the same. But I'll give you a nice little look, an overview of what that looks like. So what we're looking at here is AMD. I'm sorry. The Tastyworks desktop platform. I'm looking at AMD. Yes, this is the desktop platform on Mac. And what I like about this is you could type in right in here. You could type in right here. You could type in anything that you want. You know, Baba. You want to look at Nike. And the nice thing here about it is they display the IV rank, like unlike any other platform, display pretty much all the information that you need just right here. You got the IV rank. You can see, you can put it in here. And then also when you type it in here, it also adds it to recent symbols here, which is nice. So you can easily just go on here, you know, click these right here and just get back to where you were if you accidentally wanted to go back, or you made a mistake and typed in the wrong symbol or something. You can easily just go back here and look at like Facebook, and you can see how this information changes here. And in here I put on some positions today. I'm actually, as you can see, I'm down $3 on the day. Most of these positions on I put on today. And as you can see, like the whole look and feel of this is a lot different than most platforms. And as you can see here, we got nice big green for green stocks, red for red stocks, and then your P&L. You know, depending on what you have here, you got P&L open, P&L day, and then realized. So this is my favorite. I actually didn't take off any trades today because, like I said, I mostly put trades on. But realized definitely helps out understanding where you were. I know, like with Thinkorswim, once you put off a trade, it only shows you what you did for the day. There's no realized column, and this has a nice realized column where you can see what your profits were that you took on the day. So this is realized. This is a realized profit column here. I also like, what I like about this is a nice little, you know, red bars or green bars depending on where you are. Definitely helps with spreads, like on Tesla. Actually, I put this on earlier. I have a put spread here. In this green bar, this green or red bar will show you if you're like, you know, 50% profit, you're at, you know, 50% loss or that kind of thing. It calculates this bar down here. It calculates your max profit and your max loss in here. Obviously, we got some losing trades in here as we had some Twitter calls in here that we haven't been able to take off yet, but. You know, it's kind of nice. You can see that, you know, if you're down on the day, up on the day, or down on the overall position, you can kind of see that, and you know, just really nice, clean, that you can easily look at it. You can easily see what theta is, and you can obviously see what your probability of profit is, and that's kind of a nice column as well. We'll talk about more of probability of profit. Obviously, this kind of changes depending on the stock price and the different strategy that you have on, but it's nice to definitely see that, and especially with, like, you know, spreads. Like this spreads right at a 49 probability of profit. You know, it takes account this 35% and this 63%, and then comes with a 48. So definitely not on spreads. These, I think I just bought naked options. This is a strangle, so you can kind of see how that plays out there. The trade tab. So I'm going to kind of just go through these tabs one by one. The trade tab here, definitely easy to use. We have table mode, we have curve, we have active, and we have analysis. And then the best thing about Tastyworks, it automatically has strategy for you, so you can go through, depending if you want to do you know, a short call. You can easily click on this, go to short put, vertical, and easily just switch back and forth to go through what you want. So let's say I wanted to do something in here for September 28th. All I have to do is hit, like, if I wanted to short Tesla right now, I could just click go, and then it will put in something. Now, if I kind of want to play around with the pricing here, you know, it's nice. No other platform lets you do this. You can pretty much drag and drop what you want to do here. So let's say if you want to make the spread, you just want to make the spread wider. Let's say I want to do $5 wide, a little bit further out of the money. You can see also down here how your probability of profit changes. So my probability of profit for this is now 63%. You know, if we go a little further out, let's go to 310. You'll see now we're at 72%. You see right here what your max profit is here and what your max loss loss would be on this trade. So it's definitely very easy to use, and you can easily change the quantities or time here. So if you want to skip a month ahead, I mean the next expiration, you can go ahead, you can go back, and that kind of thing. So definitely easy to use. If you just want to scrap the whole trade, you just hit clear and you can go through another one. The other thing is what you can do. One of the things that I like to do is you can actually click on here and pick it. So let's do the same spread. I can actually hit the bid on this 305 to short that, then hit the ask on these 310 calls to purchase, and you can see I will put on a spread here. So that's pretty nice, pretty quick. If you don't want to mess around with it, sometimes I don't usually use this, because if I go here, it automatically puts it right at the money. It doesn't do that. But so usually what I do in like 2 clicks, I'll just go, put my short strike on, then I'll put my long strike on, and then I'll execute the trade depending on if I'm happy with that trade or not. The other nice thing it has here is you see this orange bar right here. This is calculating the expected move. This price is right here. So plus or minus. Other platforms do this, but this is a nice visual on the options chain here. You got the plus or minus $10.58, and that's displayed here, where you can kind of see where your risk is instead of having to do the math yourself. It's nice to always have a nice visual, especially when you're trying to get in a trade or get out of a trade. You have a nice visual where you want to put it on. So let's say if you want to put an iron condor just right outside of the expected move, you don't have to do crazy math. You can pretty much do that. Something just right out the expected move. Or even like, let's say you want to do like 1 standard deviation. They have that split up as well. You can put on a 1 standard deviation trade here and just go out here. If you want to do something 1 standard deviation out, iron condor, either side. So it's really fast, really easy to put trades on. Definitely love that feature. The options chain is one of the best features of Tastyworks. They also have the curve platform, which you can use. A lot of people do use this if they're not as experienced. And what's kind of nice is if you want to say, okay, I just want to put a short. Let me actually change the. Let's see here. Let's put on another short call vertical. Let's go to short call vertical, and let's go. Oops. Let's get to like 30 days out, just so you can see what's going on here. So I'll display here 31 days out for the long call, 31 days out for the short call. You see we're at the 302.50, pretty much the same thing. And then you can adjust your leg this way, but it's pretty much just drag and drop. So let's go to 315, 310, and then you can kind of calculate, okay, this is my max profit, this is my max loss. So it's the same thing, but it's just different visual. The one thing we'll put on here is I'll show you this on the table form there. The green areas where you'll make money, the red areas where you'll lose money on this trade. The same thing would happen. Actually, you can actually put this on. Let's go back to this 315, and then you can also go back and forth to each of them. So let's go back to the 30 days. You can actually go back to table and actually picks up where you left off here. So that's pretty sweet. And the same thing here. You see this green area. The green area is where you make money. Red area is where you lose money. So for those that are visual, definitely it helps you. If you're not very technical and you're definitely a visual trader, this helps you visualize the trade and where you make money, where you lose money, and you can kind of play around with. You can kind of play with what you want to get into there. You can also adjust the strikes here as well. So definitely easy. The other thing is one of my favorite options, one of my favorite features here of Tastyworks is also this activity screen. So this is what I did. This is what I've done today in terms of trades. Nice, easy, clean. Shows you what your fills are, what price you got, what price you put in, and all that. What strategy you use as well. And the other thing is you can go back here. It's really easy. Make it go back. Let's say go back the last 7 days and say I only want to look up ticker BABA, and you can go back and see what your trades were for the last 7 days, or custom, or whatever you want to do. So definitely love that feature. You can kind of see where you made money in these trades. As you can see, like on this trade here, put it on for 157, sold it for 247, then did another one, bought for 113, took it off for 285, and this one we bought for 3 cents and then expired worthless. So you can kind of see how that plays out. So definitely this is one of my favorite features here, where you can kind of go back and look at what your trades were on certain stocks, and it's really, really quick to use. Other platforms not as simple to get to. You have to jump through a lot of screens. This makes it really, really easy for you. On here, you have your watch list. You can actually create your own watch list in the settings. But in here is kind of cool. Nice visual where this is notable stocks. It'll show you on the right here. I'll show you the liquidity. So people that are new to trading, I know that they have sometimes issues with liquidity and picking stocks that have good liquidity, getting in and getting out. And this will give you some nice liquid options to look at. And then you can actually separate by, what I like to do is IV rank here. You can see what has the highest IV rank. Nike actually has earnings today, so that's why they're at 83. Tesla is just a volatile stock. That's why we put a credit spread on there instead of buying options. IV is pretty high here, and you can kind of see how liquid those stocks are. So this is definitely nice. Obviously, these lists are lists that Tastyworks actually handpicks for you and compiles these lists. Like I did my own here, my own watch list. You add UVH and you can add a symbol in there. So I have the us versus herd. You can actually put a new one in here and just hit add, and it's very simple. Just add new options that way. So as you can see here, Google and Amazon not as liquid as Alibaba. So it's really nice to compare on that as well. They have this where you can actually watch their videos, which I don't, I guess it's nice to have if you really watch them on day to day. The charts are probably something that they could definitely use work on. Like on Thinkorswim, I like to have multiple views on charts, and as you can see, as I've drifted through the platform, it changed. This ticker is the main ticker, and it changes everything. So from the trade grid to your charting, it'll move across. So if I want to go to AMD, go back. If I want to go back to Tesla, it'll go back, and also goes back on the trade screen here. Trade AMD, go back to your charts. We're back at AMD as well. So something for you to just definitely pretty easy to use and float around if you're jumping across different stocks here like we are now. The one thing I will say, they have some pretty good indicators in here. You can put volume. Right now I have volume and SMA, which is a simple moving average, and they have some other indicators here. But in terms of their charting, it's not as robust as other platforms such as Thinkorswim. I definitely like Thinkorswim's platform a lot better for charting. This works fine, and you can kind of see the highs and lows here on the chart, but in terms of charting, they only allow you to have one view of the chart. Obviously, you can change it here, but this is always kind of weird, going a couple days back or week to date and then changing the time. So I don't really like how that flows out. But you can do candlesticks, and you can kind of change the graph as you like it as well. So yeah, you can kind of customize this the way that you want, but right now there's only one view for the charting, and they don't really value that. They do have on here some other things. You got your history. This is pretty much the same thing as before. And one of the benefits of Tastyworks, it's $1 per contract to open a position, and it's $0 to close a position. So that's why these today we can actually go back to. We're looking at my Alibaba trades over the last 7 days. You can kind of see you still pay some closing costs, like these 14 cents here for selling these, but you don't pay any commission. So you can see here, open these, close them for $0, open these, close them for $0. So you can definitely see that I'm only paying $1 per contract and closing them for $0, even though there are some some fees on that. But compared to other platforms, you really can't beat that for what you're getting here. The follow button, I don't really do it. You can kind of see this is what they trade. I don't really like to look at what they trade. I don't really go with their strategy or do anything that they do in terms of their strategy. So, but you can, if you were trying to get some ideas, they post their trades here. I don't think they're like that great at trading personally, so I don't typically follow what they do here, and their strategy doesn't really fit into my strategy. So just keep that in mind. If you're copying trades for somebody, even if you're trying to copy trades for me or anybody else, it may not be in line with what you want to do, or your goals or for your account. Going into the mobile here, as you can see, mobile's pretty much the same thing. We have, let me actually minimize this so you can get clear view. So mobile's pretty much the same thing. You have the watch list. You could change your watch list here. And then I had the UVH one here as well, and then you can go back to notable stocks. The trade grid, let's go back, let's look at we'll look at Tesla here because we were just looking at that, just so you can get an idea. So we have some consistency here. You can see that the options chain here, very easy to use. Options grid. You can also select your strategy, and it's pretty much the same thing as the desktop platform. I like it. It's pretty easy to put trades on. Like I said before, like if I wanted to put a short call, all I have to do is tap 305, short it, and put a long call at 310, and it's easy as that. And then you can see here it's $1.65 credit down below. You can see what the mid price is, and really easy to use. If you don't like the trade, all you have to do is hit clear, and it's very pretty much the same thing as the desktop platform, but on mobile. So it works well, fills are fast, really no complaints there. The one thing I do like also, I didn't put this out on the other platform, on the desktop platform, but it's the same thing, but it actually shows you when earnings are coming up. Only other platforms, you can actually see, they actually pin marked here or flagged earnings are November 7th. So if you're going to make a trade, you may not, like let's say if you wanted to make this November 16th trade, you may not make that trade, or you may make a different trade knowing that earnings are coming up. So that's definitely very helpful. One of the best features of the platform as well. You can also trade from, you can also change it down here from table to the curve screen like we had before. Pretty much the same thing, but I prefer, personally, I prefer the table view myself. And if you want to buy stock, you can go ahead and just hit buy stock down here. So one of the modes, just hit stock and you can buy stock. Typically, I never buy stock on here, but you can if you want to. Under the More tab, it's pretty much the same thing. We won't get too much into it, but pretty much the same thing. The activity button, you can kind of see what your activity is. This is my activity for today. This is what I put on today. This is what I purchased. These are the trades I put on. I didn't have any closing trades, but pretty easy. And then you can go to filter, just like you would. You can actually filter here in the date range, just like you did on the desktop platform, and then you can change. So let's say we'll go back to the 7 days, and we'll change it to Baba. You can kind of see it's the same thing. So what I like about their platform, very consistent across, very consistent across all devices. So desktop to mobile, pretty much the same thing. And then I'm going to show you the web here in a second here, which is pretty much the same. Yeah, so we got the web, your home screen. You see their trades. You have a little trade grid here. Going into trade, same thing. You know, they have the stock, they have the curve, they have the table. So definitely very easy. You can jump between. The one thing I will say, the web platform doesn't work as well as desktop or mobile. Some of these things kind of get glitched up when you're choosing different expiration dates. So you can just click, you know, different expiration date here. And then, or you can do it here. You can add different times or change the times that you want to put the trade on. So pretty much the same thing. You know, I won't go too into it, but you can see IB rank here. You can see pricing. The web version is definitely a little bit behind desktop and mobile, and I think it's just because it's not because of the platform, but I think it's the browser technology only allows you to do so much versus their custom coded platforms they built for desktop and for mobile. So in web, you can only do so much. You know, it's kind of nice if you don't have access, or let's say if you're at work, you could easily just browse this page if you don't want, if you're trying to be discreet and you're trying to get some trades in. You know, pretty much the same thing as I showed you before. You know, you can see here for Tesla, I have the spread. All you have to do is really click on close, and you can close positions. Oh, that was one other thing I wanted to show you. Close at profit. Let's go back to here just to kind of. So what I can do, I put this trade on. You can actually right click on it. So you can select both these legs, and I can close at profit at 50%. I can put my good to cancel order in here for 50%. So I put this order on for $1.20. It's automatically calculating for me $60 profit. 60-cent profit. So I put on for $1.20, calculating 60 cents. So you can see here today. Let's go to today. Yeah, Tesla $1.20. I can close it out for 60 cents by just clicking that, and or you can adjust it. If you don't want 50, you can go down to 45. You want 40. You know, it's up to you what you want to set that to. So I think that's a really nice feature of the platform, which you can also do on web and mobile. But I just want to point that out real quick before I forget. One other thing is you can actually roll positions as well, and you can go roll it to a different date and change that up the way that you like. So in terms of platform, I think that Tastyworks is definitely the best platform out there for trading options. The commissions are cheap. I just wish they would work on their charting technology a little bit. I still use Thinkorswim every day. I still love that platform. It's a great platform, but Tastyworks platform is really becoming one of the best platforms for options traders. So if this video helped, if you want to sign up for a Tastyworks account, I'll actually have the link below to that. If this video was useful for you, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you can, if you're interested in this channel. And if you have any questions, leave them below. I definitely answer them for you.